Number one, if you are a virgin and you are dating, you are not any less of a man, you are not any less of a human being. This does not mean that your ability and your capacity and capability to pleasure a woman is gone. This is absolutely there. This is absolutely vital to your human experience. There is nothing wrong with being a virgin. And I think that when we attach the theory of virginity, when we attach that to deep shame, and when we attach that to deep wounds, this feeling of I'm not being enough, I can completely understand as to why somebody would feel, oh my gosh, like, I want to be with this girl. She has a higher body count than me. She has more experience than me. I'm only a virgin. This means I can't pleasure her. This means I can't be a true man in dating. This means that I shouldn't even try to date unless I can actually find somebody that's at my level of experience or lower. Like, there's just no point. Like, I can understand the fear that comes with intimacy, the fear of potentially being abandoned. This is definitely a true fear, and I believe that the body count topic deeply relates to the abandonment wound. The idea that somebody is going to abandon you because they have more experience than you is not something that's necessarily new. This has been an idea that's been plaguing us for generations, and there is nothing at all wrong with you if you are still a virgin. Not only that, my generation itself experienced a global pandemic, and this pandemic led us to a lot of disconnection. This means that many guys and many girls in our generation are lacking physical connection and are lacking true intimate experiences with the opposite sex. So there's nothing wrong with you if you too have felt this sort of plight, and if you too have been alone for a long time and are lacking experience. I understand how daunting it can easily be to go into the dating world just having had not experienced deep love, deep intimacy, and deep connection in that way. There is nothing wrong with you if you are a virgin. And not only that, there is nothing wrong with people that have a higher body count as well. But on this channel, I just want to say that, you know, a lot of this is due to environmental circumstances. A lot of us are not super conscious when we come into reality and when we come into the world. What do I mean by this? I basically mean people are dating unconsciously. And a lot of times, like when you're a teenager, let's say, a lot of people can lose their virginity too young, or something can go awry in which this sort of privilege, if you haven't viewed it as a privilege yet, is taken for granted. And so, you know, we really need to dispel these shameful ideologies and these shameful beliefs. Seven of Torches coming through in the reverse, that just because you have a high body count, it means that, you know, you're some kind of, you know, HOE, like you're just some kind of Jezebel sort of lady, you'll just let anybody come through, like that type of thing. That's not necessarily the case. A lot of what dictates whether or not we are going to remain virgins in this lifetime, if you will, a lot of it has to do with the relationship that we have with our parents. And especially if you're a girl, this heavily has to do with the relationship that you have with your father. And if you were lucky enough to have a dad that cherished you for your intellect as opposed to cherish you for your body and your appearance, this is actually what creates that sort of wound for women and that drive and that need for validation. It makes somebody more susceptible to losing their virginity at a younger age. I think a lot of times, like with the Three of Books card coming through and the Ten of Torches, we immediately cast out and we demonize other people for their level of body count that they're at. And this comes from a place of deep pain. This comes from a place of hurt, a place of being brokenhearted, a place of feeling as though, you know, you're contaminated or they're contaminated. If they've been touched by another person, then how can you have intimacy with somebody? Well, you have to take into account the socioeconomic standing that a lot of people are born into and their environment. And we can't demonize women that have a high body count, because what you're doing is you're not taking into account that having a low body count in many cases can actually be a sign of privilege and can actually be a sign that you are loved properly in many ways. But you are not at all contaminated, whether or not you're a virgin. You're not at all a disgusting person if you have a high body count. You're not at all a disgusting person if you're a virgin. What gives you this ability to make true love and to have that sensual, intimate connection with a woman, it's not determined by your body count. It's determined by who you are in that present moment. And it's determined by the burdens that you let go of. It's determined by your ability to be brave and be audacious in this lifetime and to love somebody without needing to know what their body count was and without needing to take that into account if you prefer things that way. There's nothing wrong though with being scared, with being vulnerable and scared of the idea of abandonment. Hey, Amanda, if she has more experience than me, it means she's gonna leave me. But with the King of Books card coming through, this is just a reminder to take into account the ways in which virginity can be a sign of protection and ways in which, lack thereof can be a sign of misprotection, and don't let your imagination get the best of you. A lot of times we glorify sex. If you have this, you're amazing. You're winning. You're just enjoying. No. A lot of times there's a lot more nuance to these types of issues and these types of subjects. So, anyways, with that being said, comment down below what you guys believe on this topic. I just felt like I had to get on here and say that. You are not at all less of a man if you are a virgin and a virgin in dating. There is nothing wrong with you. And I will see you guys in a later video.